The drama.
It was drama filled.
The
Good afternoon,
drama.
everyone.
Yep. Good afternoon. Yeah. So here we are, ready to rock and roll. Update everybody on the forecast and really the the uncertainty of the forecast coming at this distance at really lower confidence levels, abnormally lower confidence than usual, this close to the event. Um,
Yeah.
but that's the name of the game, and it's kind of fun that way. And we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna update you on it. So we're gonna talk about the scenario, the possible outcomes. Um, I a little bit ago said I asked Matt if I had a BAM shirt here. Um, he somehow found mine that was here. I didn't know it was here.
Yeah.
Um,
It was
and
on
here
his
we
channel.
are. Now we match.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the blue crew.
That's
That's what I'm
right.
going to call it today. But no, we're going to go through. We're going to talk about just the honesty and the transparency of the difficulty of the forecast. So let's get into it, Matt. Let me pull up the latest here. What I want to pull up is I'm going to start with visible satellite,
Yes.
and we're going to talk about what we're seeing in that regard in terms of the area we want to look at. And I'll tell you this the area that we're watching, and I wish I could draw, but I can't. But you see my mouse making it big right there. I'm making that area. That's the area that I'm watching, that we're watching. You can see the clearing working in, the holes in the cloud cover, the stark end and precip across the west central portion of Illinois, getting the central portion of the state. That's the end. And so what we're doing is that's the warm sector, that's the clearing. And what we're trying to figure out is how quick do things recover and how quickly does that clearing work further east? That's kind of the question today. Okay. Um, Matt, looking at this, I think even from the last time you and I looked at it, it's trying to do this relatively quick.
Yeah. And I would say, in terms of Illinois, confidence is certainly starting to increase with that string of clouds extending into northern Missouri. That's our front. And yeah, Michael's bringing up some of the ingredients as we speak. We're looking at the supercell composite, and it's starting to really ramp up along that front out there. And so I think over the next really 2 to 4 hours, we'll start to see some explosive development along that boundary. But then the question, right, as Michael alluded to, is how much clearing do we get to the east? So the further east you get, more into Indiana, the more our confidence starts to drop off a little bit because there's a little bit of uncertainty on how much we really build in that storm fuel to help the threat for storms later on into the day today. But again, Illinois, it's looking pretty rowdy along that boundary, kind of central Illinois. Eventually, a time that'll sag south, but especially this afternoon, early evening, along that boundary in central Illinois. So the forecast continues to trend pretty aggressively, especially into central Illinois.
Hmm. Yeah, and again, the recovery of the ingredients is impressive. It is quick. I mean, one thing we have to keep in mind that we really don't have um, a lot of things to compare to. This is the Cape gradient, but is it's June 17th, and the dynamics at play are as if it were late or March or early April in these parts. And so, what we're trying to figure out here is how quick on in mid June, with the dynamics at play, can things recover? And that's really what what we're trying to just articulate for you guys. So that said, I want to pull up a couple things. The first thing I want to show you here is just the change in the um, outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. And I'm going to turn this on a white layer here for you so we can see it a little bit better. Um, but the change in where the outlook area is from the Storm Prediction Center is has come south, kind of like we talked about. You can see here with the largest risk category now covering Indianapolis, Carmel, Morgan County, Johnson County. um, Still Lafayette, Bloomington, focal point here, probably for development is. I think we really need to watch in here over the next 3 to 5 hours for
Mhm.
new development to occur, and as it does, more will follow through here, and it'll kind of do one of these numbers and move to the south and east. But
Yep.
my point to this is this morning, and even late last night, the Storm Prediction Center's risk for a time was more like this. So we have moved that down south quite a bit. Um, and to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure it's far enough southeast. In fact, what I like the most is probably the wind damage threat. I think this threat encompasses wind and tornadoes further south and east that just kind of lets everybody know there could be significant wind and tornado threats in this area in general. I don't know if you agree with that, but
Absolutely. I absolutely
yeah.
do.
So that's kind of the idea here is if you're in this area with the hatched lines, there could be wind gusts over 70 miles per hour, and there could be a strong tornado or two. I will say the strong, violent tornado threat um, perhaps has subsided a little bit.
Mhm.
It has come down a little bit, but with that said, it's not that you can't get one. It's not that it won't happen. The ceiling on these events for the potential of how significant they can be also have high bust potential, and um, that's just letting us, letting you guys know that we have the, both outcomes are possible here. We can't guarantee it, and we've kind of said all along until we get into um, you know, seeing the stuff on radar today, it's going to be difficult to do that. Yeah, we'll get to the timing when I'm ready, guys. You give me a second. I'm trying to explain everything to you. Once we get the nuts and bolts explained, we will get to timing. So just give me a second here, okay? I know everyone wants the time. I hear you loud and clear. All right, so let's get into just the $1 million question, Matt. The only thing that everyone cares about the time here. Um, and let's do this. This is the I don't want to say it's the preferred run. It's kind of the only run that's going to be any good.
Yeah, yep.
If you
That's where
want me
we're
to be
at from
honest.
a modeling
Um,
perspective. We do not have excellent models right now, which
no,
again lends itself to a little bit of the lower confidence aspect.
it's doing okay with this is 2 p.m. kind of the current situation. Um, and so what we want to watch is the evolution of this. Let me I'll turn the timing on up here so you guys can see that.
Can you
Um,
zoom out maybe just a smidge, Michael, so we can see the times? The top.
oh
There we go.
my
Yep.
God.
I know I'm
Yeah.
needy.
Yeah. So here is the timing. Okay. This is Eastern Daylight Time. I've been corrected on that. It's not EST, it's EDT. Um, so as we go forward, you can see this particular wave exiting the area and the clearing working in probably around 5 o'clock.
And that's
Okay.
what we timed that out to the
Yes.
west. This matches our timing really well with what we see out
Yes.
to the west. So it again, it's one of the reasons why we like this model. It seems to have a good handle on the first wave. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be 100% perfect with the second wave, but that's one of the reasons why we picked this model.
Yes. And that clearing meaning instability can build, things can re energize, get its act together, if you will, um, and then we'll kind of go forward because again at 5 o'clock in June, you're almost still through peak heating, and so it's not going to be difficult to again recover some of the energy lost to this overcast sky that we have right now. That looks like we haven't seen sunshine in days, right? So we got to kick that out. Once we do, you can see the development of everything. This is by 6 p.m. All right. Going forward, here is 7 p.m. And oh, we don't want to do that. And the area that we're most concentrated on again is for us is going to be like this. That's where we think the most significant or the highest threat for severe weather, both damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes can be possible in this particular area. It wouldn't shock me, Matt, if that even was a little bit more like this
Yeah,
with that
because it
clearing.
because there'll be
No.
plenty of instability out to the west,
Yep. Yeah,
which
exactly.
is why we circled that area, because that's where there's suggestions of instability building in. Although the further east you get in that red circle, Michael, especially northeast, a little bit more questionable how much instability we build. But at this point, based off what we see on visible satellite, it's really not in question, I would say, further to the west
Mhm.
into Illinois, because it's already starting to clear out there.
Yep. Agreed. So as we go forward, we'll take you to 8 p.m. Eastern time, coming into the I-70 corridor across Illinois and Indiana. Um, go to 9 p.m. again. Something else I want you guys to notice is as we get later into the evening, we start to see generally more of a west to east movement. Thunderstorms going over the same area multiple times. And for
Mm.
that, our team issued a flash flood watch. Um, Not moments later, the NWS issued a flood watch. I do believe there's a flooding concern. We will talk about total rainfall impacts as well here in a moment. All right. This is 9 o'clock. Again, simulated radar gives folks an idea. Um, it is not a verbatim because it showed it on your location at that time that it's going to happen. Simulated radars change every hour
Yeah.
with new data. They always change. It just gives you an idea. I mean, let me show you what I mean by it changes every hour. This is the trend of the last several runs. Look how many times it changes and it looks different. These are all different weather model runs over the last 6 hours. So they give general ideas. They are not for you to take and run with and say, you said exactly right here at 9 p.m. And because it wasn't there, you are the worst of all time and you suck. That's not what this is for. It's just a weather model that gives general timing. Okay, general ideas. 9 p.m. It's going to start to slide south of I-70, but slowly. So again, a lot of rain, lightning, thunder, embedded rotation. Um, slides south, but it's riding over the same areas for multiple hours. Okay, this is 11:15. Finally gets Bloomington, Columbus, Seymour, Bedford, near Cincinnati area, Southern Illinois, closer to midnight. And as we continue to go forward, you can see this slides near Louisville, Cincinnati to Louisville to Evansville. I don't believe you're out of any threat for severe weather by 2 o'clock tonight.
No.
Um, I think you're well in play for um, people for storms to be severe. So that risk when you look at this from the Storm Prediction Center's standpoint, I do believe we believe that this needs to be again a little bit more like this, and possibly if things continue to evolve, possibly a little bit more into here, an expansion at 4 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's a maybe, but that's where storms can get their act together. But that's our forecast internally with that. I know a lot of people are asking about you know the potential for rainfall. I will show you the simulated guidance for rain. Latest run here for rainfall. Let me go to. I actually want to show what I believe to probably be a little bit more. Yeah, that is probably a little bit more accurate with some of these totals. I do know we had an MD come out from the Weather Prediction Center,
Yep.
training with 3 to 5 inch totals of rain being possible. There's already a lot of issues locally with crop being underwater. Not going to be good for the corn and soybean crop across the area. Too much rain. It's just too much. But this is again suggesting local amounts of 5 to 8 inches. It's pretty dramatic. Again, we have that flash flood watch in effect through the BAM weather platform. Nearly 300 people have signed up for that in the last 36 hours. If you want it, the link is in the comments to get it. Video analysis, timing updates, nowcast to your phones, um, all of those things. This is a great question. Can I address this?
Sure.
Yeah, this will be fun. Are you actually a meteorologist or a meteorologist wannabe? What are you, Matt?
I
Are you
actually am a
real?
meteorologist. I went to
Yeah,
schools for 8 damn years to
yeah.
become one. So,
Thank you. Ooh, a little
yep.
spice coming out of Matt. I like when spice comes out. Um, yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe he's talking to someone else. I don't know. I mean, I feel like we are. I feel like we're talking pretty detailed here. I don't know if, anyways, um, let's get back to it. Uh, I want to show you the concentration of where these strongest storms might be, and this is what we call our updraft helicity swaths. Um,
Man, that's wild. It's maxed out.
yeah, and so I think you know this indicates again where the storms can be the strongest, where they can rotate and maintain updrafts and either present damaging wind threats, tornado threats, and even large hail threats in these instances. So there are several things uh, uh, that are possible. This evening, all modes of severe weather are possible, if you will, with this. So, um,
Michael, real quick, let
yeah.
me share my screen real
Oh,
quick
please. Yeah, I would
on
love it.
this note. Um,
If you are a real meteorologist, I would appreciate that.
yeah, hopefully
Thank
my
you.
the real meteorology will come out and show.
Please,
But th
please.
this is the same thing we just looked at that Michael showed, but this is the ensemble. This is the REFS ensemble helicity tracks. And this is, in my opinion, Michael, versus just using one model run, we've got a grouping of models, and this is a
Mhm.
super strong signal, really from Springfield to right near Indianapolis, Effingham, Illinois, Vincennes towards Salem, Columbus, Franklin, some of those areas. It's pretty identical to what you just showed, but the fact that we're combining multiple different high res models in this, to me, Michael, is incredibly impressive
Yes.
showing these tracks. So anyway, just a note I wanted to mention Michael's not necessarily cherry picking off one model, right? This is
Yep.
literally a group of models spitting out this outcome that we're looking at. And
Yeah.
these are very high values, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I think uh, with that in mind, I think that qualifies you as a real meteorologist, honestly.
I hope it does, Michael.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Anyways, so the Warn On forecast system is running the WOFS, the super high resolution model that the National Severe Storms Laboratory runs. It's starting to run. We'll get a little bit. That'll help give us a little bit more confidence, clear picture. That model did very, very well last Thursday. So I'm excited to see that come in. It's only in right now through about an hour out, so it's processing as we're talking. Um, but this will help us with further confidence in the forecast. All right.
Typically does pretty well in these higher end severe events.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's this here. This is basically a super high resolution model that runs, I think it's really every 30 minutes at this point, and it'll start to really nail down and pinpoint um, where things are going to be. And I'll tell you, with its initialization, Matt, with where it's at, um, I like right now. It's doing well with the paintball selection here.
Yeah, seems to be doing pretty well, yeah.
So once it goes further out, um, we'll get a better picture tonight of maybe what to anticipate um, with timing and actual more specific threats. So again, for those of you just tuning in, we are generally discussing the area that we're watching. Um, Looks like we got a new meso map in. Check this out. Little new wrap analysis of Cape. Watch the latest frame. Cape building good in Southwest Illinois. It's over 2,000 joules there on the latest update.
Which is
And that,
plenty in this type of
yeah,
environment. I mean,
yeah,
even 1,000 is plenty in this type
yeah,
of environment that's upcoming.
yeah, absolutely. And I think I like again that clearing is working in rather quickly. You can see it here, and even some gravity waves, some serious momentum showing up there, um, suggesting a rapid clear out. So, with that said, I want to do two things that can be fun. They can be educational. So, I want to do a couple things for you guys to show you timing for tonight. We're talking timing, so don't yell at me. I'm trying hard to earn everyone's love on this stream. We have a new MD out. This MD here is going to be for. Let me refresh my page. I got a little too many things going on. This MD here is a 95% probability for a severe thunderstorm watch to be issued in the area we're just talking about where the clearing is. So the Storm Prediction Center now is saying, hey, we need to toss a watch in there because we're going to start seeing development. To sum this up, what this discussion is saying, that the inhibition for storms is eroding. Temperatures are climbing into the 80s. We're seeing a cumulus field develop. And this combination with strong to moderate energy edging northward will support initial supercells capable of large hail damaging wind and tornadoes, perhaps strong. And that's the initiation of the second wave tonight, or the main wave. This is the starting point of that. All right.
Surely it's a tornado watch, even though they already have one in Illinois.
You would think it says severe potential 95%. Storm Prediction Center might allude to what the watch is going to be on their MD page, maybe. Let me see real quick if it's on.
I mean, even from that wording, they talk about strong tornadoes. So it would be wild that they wouldn't issue a tornado watch.
Yeah, according to what I'm seeing on X, it will be a tornado watch from the MD graphic that they issued. I think so many people are trying to go to the SPC website right now that it's crashing it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Let me look at something real quick. I want to show them the graphic here so they can kind of see. Of course, I'm trying here, guys. I want to show you this so you can see it. There it is. Watch likely. And this is, so the Storm Prediction Center is the severe storms branch of the National Weather Service. They do the forecasting for severe weather. They issue these discussions from their desk in Norman, Oklahoma. This is what they put out. Zone of most favorable tornado potential, which is literally what we just talked about. Watch likely storms to increase in coverage through the afternoon. All hazards will be possible. Again, this is just highlighting everything that we've said to be possible there. And it's interesting. So
look at all that is intense. 140 to 170, 2 to 3.5 inch hail, 65 to 80 mile per hour winds.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So what I wanted to do here is I wanted to show you guys the backside timing potential on this. And I want to show you how we come up with that. So what we do is we look at, okay, we're going to nowcast this. And this is the real meteorology behind this, which I know some of you are questioning whether or not we are. But here, I'm going to show you a little bit more about how we are. So we're going to look at where the backside is generally at right now. And that's right now as of 2:20. And I'm going to back it up to the same time frame a little bit ago. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw where the backside was a little bit ago. All right. And again, all I'm doing is where was it versus where is it? That's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to measure that distance. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to start around St. Charles to Springfield. I'm going to go to a measuring tool. And I'm going to go, I'm getting about 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So what I do then is I time that, and this times out the clearing where things can recover and instability can recover. So we'll draw that like this. We're just generally timing backside clearing west to east. We're going to finish that track. And this is the potential. Oh, you know what I did? I'm sorry, guys. I got to redo that. I'm a big dummy. Let me do that again. I had it on the wrong frame.
Wow. You're such a wannabe.
I might not be a real meteorologist. You know what? I may have just given it away. Here's timing of clearing. Indy clearing of around 5 o'clock, 5:15. Terre Haute around 4:20. Rantoul, Illinois, Urbana 3:30. That's Eastern time, so that's 2:30 Central.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, that's plenty of time to recover in June. June 17th, you're going to recover just fine there. Um, with the backside and the new development to where this would occur, guys, where the new development would occur is what we just talked about. Is this area in here is where this is starting to happen, which is why they just issued that discussion because it's cleared out in there.
Yep.
See how that works. Okay. Um, Now with that, what we do is we see that and we go and look at the latest data and we say, hey, do we have models HRRR 17Z simulated radar? What do we have? Is this 17Z? Is it all the way in? Yeah, it is. There's 4 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Look at that. That's a line. That's a lineup with the backside 5 o'clock, and then rapid development ongoing right here.
Mm-hmm.
4 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Okay. Recovery is bad if you don't want bad storms. If you don't want severe weather, which I don't know why anyone would want that, you don't want recovery. What we're trying to prepare you for is if it does, right? So we see this development start to take place 6 p.m. Eastern. We're probably recovering pretty good at instability. These storms are pretty strong looking. And you see same general idea that we just talked about. There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., all the way down to Evansville, Louisville, Cincinnati by 3 o'clock in the morning. So still a hefty run. There's your helicity swaths where your strongest storms will be located. Generally somewhat the same, not nearly as aggressive as the RRFS are on this particular run, but still indicating stronger updrafts there as well. So,
Michael, I think what's interesting and what some people may already be asking questions about is, okay, you're further east of the clearing, right? Because the using my meteorology, Michael, the kinematics, the spin in the atmosphere will be substantial even further east of the clearing, right? And
yep,
so, it's going to be a bit of a battle the further east you are in the overall outlook of, okay, our instability is a little bit more limited, but we still have a lot of spin in the atmosphere. So is there enough, right? Is there enough instability that builds in to still produce tornadoes further to the east, say even east of Indianapolis, towards say like a Muncie or a Marion, right? The threat does exist there because of how much spin. But what Michael and I are talking about is the most significant as far as the severe weather is concerned, right?
yep, yep.
So it'll be interesting how that plays out. But certainly, just because you're east of the moderate risk, I don't think you're completely out of the woods for a tornado.
No, I agree. And the rapid update weather model showing plenty of CAPE in here, Matt. 1,500 joules at midnight. I I think there's plenty there for there to be issues. Because even with this particular run, looking at the low level jet stream,
It's
you know,
impressive.
I mean, any thunderstorms that can form out of this, you're getting 74 mile per hour winds that are just 5,000 feet up. It'll be very easy to put those down to the surface of 70 plus mile per hour winds. Even if you don't get a tornado, you're talking
And
destructive winds.
since you have that up, Michael, that's at 11 p.m. at night. This kind of alludes to the fact we were talking about where we thought maybe the moderate risk can get extended down even a little bit further southeast, because at that time, areas now along the Ohio River would be what we call the right entrance of that jet. And
Yep,
so
it's a great
the
point.
the location of those areas in southern Indiana, southeastern Indiana, northern Kentucky, yeah, that area Michael's circling, we're in a very favorable spot of the low level jet that it's just really going to foster upward motion, probably even help aid in instability pumping into that area as well. So you're in a favorable spot down there for some I think could be some nasty storms that linger into the overnight tonight into the early morning hours of Thursday. So If you're in those spots, yeah, I don't think you're by any means out of the woods. Despite I know the Storm Prediction Center has the moderate risk, and even for some of those areas, the enhanced risk much further to the north and to the west. Give it some time. I think some of those storms can get down there as well.
Yeah, I agree. I was just looking at the latest NATO cast here, and it is in. Um, come on now, 14Z. Absolute. It's loading. The 14Z is loading. Um, I was going to show the wind and the tornado concentration points through this the high resolution ensemble forecast system, the HREF. We have a calibrated forecast model that will. Oh, that's good. I love when it does that, Matt.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's fun. That will tell us where the potentially there's a focal point for tornadoes and wind based off the calibration of the model. And this is the tornado focus and on the left and the wind damage focus on the right. So you can see nearly maxed out. Well, it is maxed out.
Yeah.
And then the significance plot over that, which is, again, that small little black piece you see in central Illinois. I think we are limiting the violent tornado risk tonight at this point because of that. I still think tornadoes are possible, but perhaps the ceiling for long tracked violent tornadoes has come down. That threat has decreased, but still tornado threat is present.
Yep, 100%.
Best way to describe that. Now the winds, different story. I think you could easily have multiple 70+ mile per hour wind reports easily at this point.
Oh yeah, with that low level jet cranking,
Yeah.
I think it'll be easy.
So I'm just waiting on the new little run there to come in. I want to see if I have. New warn-on data in, as if it's in far enough. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so yeah. So what you're seeing here, this is the paintballs, and this is the multiple different ensembles within. This is multiple different data points within this warn-on forecast system that will tell us where cells are developing, where they're generally going to be located. Generally, can I speak? Generally?
No, you can't.
Yeah. Then we can go here to the rotation, and we can kind of see where those are putting down some rotation, Matt.
Yeah.
To start,
the paintballs look pretty darn similar to what we just looked at.
Yeah,
the future radar. I mean, it's virtually identical.
So again, this is just multiple different weather models. Paintballs are like spraying on all the different possible runs, all the different possible data points with where storms will be at 21:30 Eastern Daylight Time. What is that? 4:30? 5:30? Where are we at?
21, for what?
21:30 Z. What's our Eastern Daylight Time?
Oh, that's 5:30.
5:30.
Yep.
So that's 5:30 p.m. With the warn on here. So, yeah, this is going to continue to come in. That said, couple things. Number one, best way to get alerts tonight through the BAM Weather platform. Sign up links in the comments. Check it out. Get logged in, signed up with the platform. Location specific alerts. We actually just had our first actual city in Indiana, replace or substitute alerting from tornado sirens to the BAM weather platform for their community. It's the first of its kind, and we're going to start rolling that out. But we're sending things to your phone instantaneously. Sometimes tornado sirens can be 5 to even 10 minutes delayed. BAM weather sends it right away, and your phone even sounds like a tornado siren when it goes off.
It sure does. It'll scare the crap out of you.
It'll scare you. It'll get your attention. So City of Wabash, Indiana is who did that. So that said, check it out. We will come back live. This is more of an analysis and an forecast update. Once these storms really start getting going, we'll come back, and that's probably where we'll stay live throughout the evening. My guess is that's going to be sometime between 5 to 6 p.m. That's my guess right now. That threat from 5 to 6 p.m. is probably going to be, I'll just show you where I think it could be when we're coming back for that time. Forecast, that's only 3 p.m. right now. Go back to this. There's 6 p.m. So I think when we come back live at 5 to 6, we're going to be talking about this area in general. And this is probably heading northwest to southeast, all modes of severe weather, including flash flooding possible from 5 p.m. to midnight. And that's what we'll be talking about when we come back. So anything, Matt, that we want to touch on that I didn't touch on, or that I missed maybe, or?
No, I think we got it covered. I mean, we didn't talk much about the hail, but I don't think anyone cares about the hail at this point. So,
Ooh, spicy.
yeah.
14Z NATO cast is in.
Show me.
But it's weird because it's like it's still loading. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up. This is using the RAP, the HREF, and the SREF. The 14Z uses a combination of things. I'm waiting on the wind to load, but that's what it has right now for the greatest potential of tornadoes. Again, I don't hate this because the tornado threat is certainly there, but primarily it's evolving into a significant damaging wind threat with a secondary threat of tornadoes. So there you go.
I mean, that makes sense, Michael. We're
Yeah.
the best sensibility builds
Yeah.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a 10% probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. Nothing to dismiss. Okay, I think I have. So anyways, that's the latest for now. Again, make sure to check out the comments for the sign up section. And I will tell you, I do always have my friend here. I know he's always here. The whiskey and weather bottles. They do say pour a drink and watch the sky, and it does have our logo on the back. We still have some of those available. If you want them, you might figure out how to get them because they're limited. So appreciate you guys. We'll be back closer between that 5 to 6 p.m. time frame live, and that's probably where we'll be live for the evening. And we'll chat with you all then. Make sure you follow the page. Click the follow button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get our notification when we go live again next.
Perfect.
Matt, Wannabe signing off here.
Yep.
Yep.
Wannabe meteorologist Matt Griffin signing off.
Goodbye.